Hello, I'm Tristan. When I moved into my new construction home 4 years ago, the backyard, or back garden as we call it in the UK, was a complete mess. There was just soil everywhere, and that's how the developer leaves it. So I set out levelling everything because the soil was ramping up quite a lot at the back. But unfortunately there were a few issues along the way which meant that I couldn't just level the garden. So instead I built this, a masonry flower bed or planter. So I wanted to talk through how I did this in this video. In this first photo, you can see a view from the upstairs window and you can see how the soil ramps up a lot, especially in that back right corner. And here I've actually annotated it with some measurements. And if you're sort of standing in that backyard or back garden, as we'd call it in the UK, 1.2 metre increase from the bottom to the top in quite a short space of time. It's quite a lot. It felt really sort of high. It's hard to explain here, but it was a really big ramp up of soil and dirt. So what I started doing was trying to level things out as much as I could. So you can see I'm starting to dig everything out there, and towards the back right corner you can see there's something visible. And at this point now I've leveled things out as much as I could, and you can quite clearly see on the right there's some concrete footings, and it turns out that's actually for our neighbour's garage, so obviously I can't come along and knock that down, unfortunately. So that's basically as level as I'm going to get things. But I needed a new plan in terms of what to do about that back right corner, so it's not a wasted space. And you can see it again there, a bit of a closer up view. So what I decided to do was build a flower bed around it, like I mentioned. So I started digging down. As you can see, I dug some trenches around it. I dug down a little bit more than this. I think in total I went down around a foot, so 12 inches, I think. And then I actually started mixing concrete by hand, which took ages, and it also sprained my wrists for weeks. I wouldn't recommend it. I should have just hired a mixer, but there we are. So you can see there I've started filling in the trench with concrete. And then I started actually laying concrete breeze blocks, which was a first for me. I've never mixed concrete, but I've not laid a wall either. So I took my time and tried to make this as level as possible, especially with this being the first course of bricks. It worked fairly well in the end. And you can see there I'm just carrying on, just building up more courses. And there you are now, that's actually finished. So you can see up to the full height, which is around 90 centimetres tall. And at this point then I had to sort of decide how to finish this off, instead of it just being a bare wall like that. So I decided to actually put some decorative stone on the top, or coping stones, and then tile it. But before I did that, I wanted to actually just fill up the soil. So I firstly started topping up with a mix of gravel and soil. The gravel's for drainage, because otherwise if I just dump loads of soil here, then it's going to actually be quite bad for drainage. So I mixed in with some gravel and little stones for drainage, and then I just topped it up with topsoil, fluffy soil. Then I started cutting the coping stones that you can see here, and there you are, that's the finished effect. It's not the best picture, sorry, but you can see the sort of finished effect there, and it works really well. And then I started actually using porcelain outdoor tiles to tile this outdoor wall. It was quite difficult because, I haven't built a wall before and it wasn't completely level. So sometimes I needed to use varying amounts of tile adhesive, which was a little bit tricky, but I got there in the end. So that's the first corner, that's where I started. And then there you are, that's the rest of it, other than the tricky sort of end cuts. The end cuts were quite annoying to do, but, I got there in the end. And that's the final effect. And I've started then grouting it. As you can see, so you've got a lot of the grout haze on the wall there. That then is the final picture. So basically I finished the grouting, I removed most of the grout haze, but I still need to go back and finish it a little bit. And then I run silicone around all the edges just to really waterproof things. And overall I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry there was just a photo slideshow. Unfortunately at the time I didn't take proper video footage of this, but in the future I'll be producing a lot of proper videos of my DIY tasks, so please do hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all my new videos. If you enjoyed this video, please also hit the like button. Thank you.